Good morning, team. Welcome to my chart room. I just wanted to make a quick announcement on this video. I did not change the date from August 13th. It should say August 14th. And I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great time. Remember, everything you see here is not trading advice or financial advice at any kind. This is just for entertainment, comedic, and educational purposes only. Bear in mind, I eat red crayons for breakfast. And you probably should too. But if you do, you're probably crazy and you can get a tummy ache. So any consequences are on you. And the same advice goes with the trading. Okay, please bear that in mind per my disclosure there. So we hit our target, or we're about to in just a few moments. We're currently hitting the wick. Okay, so we have some charts from last night. We're mapping it out as we are pushing through. And I was with you guys. We did have that hard close here on the top of this line on 96.57, so that gave us the clear to be able to go up, especially when we came down and kissed the phantom up here, which is this blue line. That at that time the phantom was at 92.33. So we're breaking above and we're about to come through now. Last night was very interesting, and we're gonna just quickly go over that. When we pushed through that line as expected, I was hoping we got a hard close on there, but we didn't get it on the 4-hour chart. So then I switched down to the 2-hour chart. Didn't get it there. But if you go down to all of it, a 1-hour chart, we were going in and out and in and out, and finally we went up and then we hard closed right on it. And you could see it right there. The military time was 5. I think it's 5 a.m. military time. We did get the hard close on there. And then the next bar was an up bar. So that was very interesting to note. And then we want to go back to the 4-hour and we can see more of the full story. So we see rising candles and we also see rising volume. And when we came down to some of our down candles, the volume was down. So prices were telling us, hey, we don't want these lower prices. We want to move. We want to move. Price was telling us we want to move. So we keep seeing a rising on those. And when we did have a red candle, we had a rising volume, but the candle shouldn't just be taken as only a red candle, a down bar, because it wasn't. We actually came all the way down here and then pushed all the way back up in that same bar. So that's a continuation candle. And sure enough, the next bar was up here on higher volume. And now we're coming up and we want to see what's going to happen. There's 3 hours left in this 4-hour chart, but I think we're actually going to be hitting this. Somebody called me up this morning and I told the group, I said, hey, I think we're going to hit it in either today or tomorrow. But I told them in private, there's a high chance we can actually hit it in the next few hours, depending on how hungry price is. But I always try to be conservative in the group, especially with my cores and stuff. But I'm going to let you guys know that I am going to be taking a profit and then looking for another entry. And I'm going to tell you what I have some profit on some of my XRP, I should say. Not all of my XRP. I think about 20% of my XRP I have. I'm going to be taking profit, and I'm going to be taking profit at $1.31 if we hit that on some of my leverage positions. So I recently got some new XRP that's just doing leverage positions. So I'm going to be taking a profit at there, and then if you were to have a stop, if you wanted to take a stop at profit, you can have it, down in this line. That's how I have mines. This is a dynamic mine, so you're constantly modifying it every few days or so. But I'm gonna duplicate that and show you guys what that would look like if you're being conservative. Now, this is not my normal XRP that I keep for activations. This is just leverage. So, I'm having fun learning that in cryptocurrency rather than just in Forex. So here we go. I'm going to give you what I think what's gonna happen. Okay, last time we went into this range, this orange range here, which was the sword cut. Okay, we came off of a nice setup, and we blew past those areas. What was so special about that range? Well, there's some other things you should know about this. I shouldn't say the sword cut, not just the sword cut. But this range here, now look at this. As you notice from our previous analysis, I told you this was this. We went over this area in a previous video, but all of that area right there looks like it's basically just chop. And when you see that, you're gonna have to pay the toll. You're gonna have to pay at certain points. You're gonna have to pay here, and you're gonna have to pay here. unless something very special happens. And the thing that needs to happen is price needs to push through so fast that all the traders in this section don't have a chance to react. And we see that often in the markets. That happens a lot in the markets. And it happened here on XRP. When we had the setup from the previous Phantom, and we could have came into that range, we didn't. We came close, and then we set up. It was set up like a diving board. So we went up, boom, and then bounced on that line, and shoom, and we used that momentum to push through this range. Okay, that was that range. And we pushed through so quickly that all these guys were like, okay, well, we'll just leave it alone. And they stood on the sidelines. If price were to approach that very slowly, it would have to pay a lot of fines, so to speak. Okay, and that's how buying and selling actually works in balance and harmony. Now, what we did next was there was clear paths all the way up until this range, which is what we're getting to right now, which is $1.27, 1.2751 cents. And this is the area now we're going to be in. Now, two things can happen. There's another range up here. Okay, let's look at that. Look at this. Oh, and thank you, Bob Petrovic. Thank you for your pledge for $5 joining our Patreon. I just got the notification right now. You'll have access to my exclusive charts that I don't always just post for free, but the ones that I post on my Patreon page. You can join for any dollar amount, people. You can join for $1. You can join for, we have people that some people have pledged $200. And that's awesome. Whatever value you're getting out of this, maybe choose some of that and say, hey, this is being a blessing, and I'm going to give some of that value back. If you want to be a blessing and join that team, but I try to make it affordable for everyone to have access to my exclusive charts. The link is in the description. You can also click on my channel page, and then at the top right, there's a spot that says about, and then you can see there the link to the Patreon, and that's how you become a chart member. And you'll see anytime I have these new updates, you'll be getting them right away. I take screenshots. Sometimes I'm on the go, so you'll be seeing me talking to you guys or recording a little audio, and I'll be uploading it there. You can click the play button and just see what's going on. Okay, back to the charts. So we have a lot of this going on in this area. And so all of this is very weighty on price. So that has to bear down sometime. And it's going to bear down at these levels, which is the 127.51 level, unless something very special happens. And you guessed it, what do we need to happen? Well, we need price to push through that area as quickly as possible. And it could do it over the next few days, but at least halfway, so that those people who are trying to bring in supply to the market can do so. Now, there's going to be some warning signs that is the case. If we start seeing these candles getting smaller and smaller, and yet volume is still very high, and then we see some down bars at the top, that's a sign that hidden selling is entering the market at these areas. Now, currently, we don't see that, but I do have some warnings. No, I don't have any warnings. Sorry, I thought this bar was here. If we saw a volume like as high as this one, so look at the volume on this level, ultra high volume. But if this volume was in a tiny candle like that and it's up, that means that there's actually a lot of selling into that area. So we don't have that just yet on the 4-hour chart, and neither does it show on a daily chart, because on the daily it just looks like this long candle to my projection. Actually, it's hitting that wick very accurately. Do you see how price reacts? This is why I like trading, guys, because I can when price reacts to these points, then we can understand what's happening better with price. We can really understand. I mean, this is very accurate, guys. Look at these. That's why my line isn't accurate. That's not but if I were to draw this, I'm gonna make this very visible for you guys. Okay, there it is. That's very accurate, and we see price reacting very accurately to these lines, and then from there we can use those points to go over price behavior and cover a lot of things, and you can learn a lot from price. But this isn't a tutorial video. I may be posting one of those later on tonight. I did have some lessons in the chart room on Telegram. So if you were on Telegram, I was having one of the people who's following and learning my sword method very actively. We've been speaking in private. He has been drawing on his charts, and his charting is coming along really well. His name is Tyler. I'm really proud of that guy. So God bless Tyler and his family, and in many areas. But let's take a look at what can happen, because here's the thing: we need that, but I don't see a setup for that, and that tells me that the only setup we actually had on the daily chart was just that right there, which was just kind of sitting on the line. And is that enough to just push price all the way that high? Don't think so, but I can't say for certain. I'll tell you what I do want. I want one or two things to happen. First thing I want to happen is price to actually, this would be the best scenario, price to push through and then hard close above, somewhere above. Close above, not hard close, but somehow close above on the daily chart. Okay, or the 4 hour, I'll take it. If we get on the 4 hour, that's kind of better, because then we can set up quicker. But then I want to see a long curve. So if I were to go to a 4 hour chart, show you the best scenario, I want these candles to close up here, and then I want price to curve down and then sit on that line. And I don't care if it takes 3 days to do it. That's what I want. That would look like that setup we had when I was telling everybody in my previous videos that I want that curve. And we got the curve, and I made the video why I love and need arcs. And I had been telling people for days that's the curve we wanted, and we got it. And then we went up, and when we were here in this area, you can do things. You can actually cut that and see a sword cut in there when you see that curve. Now, that would look something like a parabolic cut, but in a nutshell, it's this. Okay. And I'm just doing core to core as pretty accurate as I can. Not the reds, but the cores. You can do it. It's kind of a little bit of an art when you're doing parabolics. But I'm trying to find this line to be balanced. And if this line looks like balanced and it doesn't look like that, that would be incorrect if it looked like that. But this is pretty balanced. Now what you do is you draw where price cuts through that point. And where price cuts through that point, that becomes the new range. And then what you do after that is you can draw the sword cut. And this, again, is one of my major secrets. That gives you a range, and then range should never be so longer than the width of this area here. So if that's how long the box is, and you draw another box here, we should be hitting within more or less that box. Okay? That tells you about the strength of those lines. I hope you guys are learning something. So then what happens is once we see a sword cut, we can go to smaller time frames, and then we look for the same things. What do we have? We had a nice cut with a nice bounce. Okay? And then you can confirm that also by drawing your trend lines if you were drawing your dynamics. So if we take our dynamics and we go to the core and we draw that out, I'm going to draw this like in a different color, white, so you can see it clearly. And then we're not going to dot it because it's not just a wicks or anything. It's a solid line. But if we were drawing let's just draw this a blue so everyone can see it, a light blue, that teal color. Usually I use that for phantoms, but here you go. Now if I'm drawing those at the core areas, here's the core points. I'm taking these swings, the swing here, which is this. So we mark that point. This is one here, and then we come down. But there's another swing that's right at the core. So you can see that I connected this one and this one, but this one is just a little bit under. So no need to worry about that one. It's only if this swing was higher, then it would change the angle, and we wouldn't touch that one right here. But because as it is, it's underneath, it's just treated as something like underneath. We're going to the main swings, and the main swings, are here and here. You see that? So we connect the dots of here and here, the core area, not the wicks. Because if you're drawing wicks, you need to really draw wick to wick when you're drawing this type. So if we did that, that's going to give us another cut. And this is also how you can do another confirmation. So again, we can take our rectangle tool. This app that I'm using is TradingView. And we're going to see where the pane was cut, and it was about approximately there. You see that? Where did price cut through this line? It was there, here. Woohoo! I love oversimplification of circles. Okay, so then you can look for price and say, oh, we got another bounce on here. And so all of this is telling you a story that price is strong. Okay, this is tutorial Saturday. So when you see price doing that, you can read volume on those levels. On a lower time frames, you can use your indicators. You can see what RSI was telling you at that moment. Let's see what RSI was telling us at these moments. At these moments on a 4-hour chart, RSI was telling us that if you were to draw here and connect these lines, see how they're kind of curving down like that? That's a parabolic. What do you do? What do? I draw. Where do I draw? On my indicators. What do? You can draw those shortcuts. Do you see anything that I see? Look at this. Look at. I'm gonna make it really big for you all to see. Okay. More or less, price was curving on this lines here. And let's delete this one so you can see it a little better. Where did it cut? Here. So if I was drawing price action, hope you guys are learning. These are my secrets. I spent years learning this stuff. Price comes up and does this. This is the indicator does this, comes up, and then it bounces on there. And then what? And now we can draw our flats. Which are the flats? From here to here, you draw that line. Where did it cut? It cut right here. So let's draw that straight out. Oh, what did you see now? The same thing. That price cut here. Now I would draw that normally. I could draw that in my orange color, not yellow, orange, my orange crayon. And so when you see price that's behaving like indicators that are behaving like this, we know that we're expecting this point of time. And when we get that, we would be looking for a buy signal. And that's going to help you kind of know. So we knew 2 buys here and the other one which is here. So those 2. And now if we look at price and see what was happening with price that day, at those points, we had our first buy and our next buy, which was here. Oh, what do you look at that? Look at that. The next buy was when? On August 8th. What happened on August 8th? Oh, look at that. We were at the bottom of another support area. You see that? This is not correct. That's correct. That's more correct. Oh, I had it there because that was a wick. That's what it was. It was a wick. You can draw them into wicks in this instance. And so now we saw price coming, sitting on top of one of our support areas, okay, at that area, which the indicators were also cutting. And so we found 3 signals in just that area alone. That's kind of interesting. This one was these 2 were verified by the sword cut, and this one was verified by the indicator on top of price. Because once you get the sword cut once in a leg, you don't sometimes see it much more times than that. But I'm taking this time to give you the tutorial of how this kind of thing works. Okay, so let's delete all these lines so I'm not losing on you. And I hope that you guys are really learning some stuff because these are my secrets that I do not give away for years. And then this season, I've just been giving it all away. So you guys are really lucky. I wanted to charge thousands of dollars for this and like do a weekend course and things. But, you know, I believe God is having other plans because there's a lot of people that need to just have this, and you need to be applying this and using it so you can understand and see what's happening with your favorite cryptos. So, live, I want the same thing again. I want to go up here and I don't really have a sell signal except for that this is major chop. And I think what's just going to happen is I think we're going to be able to get back in when we really sit on the floor. So this is option number A. We'll call it option A. So if you guys want to talk about this later in the group, you guys can talk about it, but we're just going to call it option A. What's the next option that can happen? Well, I'm glad you asked. So the next option that can happen, and with all my screenshots, you can see them in our Patreon, again, by being a member. The XRP and Bitcoin charts, I also put in our chart room. That's our primary focus there, just only XRP and navigating through that price. The other option that we have that I think is going to be also a likely candidate is going to be down in here. And this is a very likely. If we plan on covering and breaking through this range up here, then we're going to need price to help us out by coming up and getting some support. And it could look like that on this 4-hour chart. I would like that. And I think that what will actually happen today is I think we're going to get a big spike through here, maybe, and then come right back down. And then I would want, if that happens, I want price to slowly come and find support on that. Because if we can get support on that, then we're going to be really ready to cover through that all territory. So imagine a racehorse that's been running and running. Even if you have the best racehorse, hey, horse needs to stop and catch his breath. Because this is an activation of XRP, guys. This is not that activation. If we do that, then I believe that we're coming into week 33 where we can experience some very, very large numbers with the settlement announcements or other things that are going to be announced. Intel that we are not privy to see. A lot of the Intel community, the decoding community, I follow them. And a lot of them have been posting and hinting and sharing and decoding over and over again dates in August. The other thing is that this lines up a lot of what some of the prophetic community is reaching out to me and privately saying, hey, I have a date that I really think this is going to happen before the end of the month. And they're sharing with me some of those dates. And I'm letting you guys know that I expect big movements this coming week, which is week 33. If you guys aren't ready for it, if you're in a sell position, it could be dangerous. So if I'm taking profit right now, it's not to say I'm selling. It's just I'm really just taking profit because I think we're gonna come back here. I'm content because I think we're gonna come back here to that area. Let me delete this to $1.1335. $1.1335. I am content with having to buy again in the same area that I exit. So if we get out here and price comes back down, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me any just to buy it and then, but I really would like to take some profit because I think that we're gonna get down to this base. And the reason I think we're gonna get down to that base, and maybe you could pray about it too. What you feel? What do you think? As I think that to cross this great chasm, we need to set up so we can go to those next highs. And this is so much of a target. I think it's going to react. And today we can go through and come back down and that's what I really expect. So this is option B, and that would be more stronger. Now, why would that be more stronger? Well, because look on the daily chart. When I turn to logarithmic view, like and I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit of time, but if I turn on logarithmic view, we are now dealing with all the people who were long in this area. Why that area? Well, because remember, we had a big run, and these people were like, woohoo, XRP to the moon, baby. And they were riding that rocket. And what happened? Oops. Price came down. They're like, okay, no big deal. Buy the dip, baby. Buy the dip. And they bought it, and they bought more here at $1.60. And they were like, woohoo, XRP to the moon, baby. But then we didn't go up. It came down. They were like, oh, well, it's okay. No, buy the dip, baby. Buy the dip. And then they bought some more at $1.59. And then we went down from there, a big amount, and they started panicking. Oh my gosh, we're losing. These people at the top were negative. Some of them got stopped out. They're just like, oh, I wish I can get my profit back. What is the pain point for those people? The pain point is this white line there. That's that pain point. And normally, if price were to ever come back and touch it, it would come back down. But price did something last night that was very good, not impossible, and something I expected, and I told you guys was going to happen because of what happened on Bitcoin. Bitcoin had the same sit up, and it went right through it. So now it came time to XRP's turn. I was like, oh, we're going to go through it, no problem. We're going to hit our target. And then what happened? We went through it. You can see it. See? Daily chart. We pushed through that to the target, and we're almost there. I turn back on regular view, and we're basically there. Okay. We're like what? We were a few pips off, a few points off, a few cents, 25 cents to 27 cents. Not so bad, guys. Not so bad. So what I expect now, the reason, because we had these long spikes here, let me show you. I took a measurement earlier about how long that spike is, and it's just a little bit longer. And I'm drawing this purple line, that target line, at the exact wick, at the exact core, not the wick, the core. So there's a lot of playroom here. So if we were to take that playroom and duplicate it on top of that price, that's going to give us approximately up to around 34 cents. Now, that means that it's very possible that price can not just hit the target, but hit to 34 cents and then come right back down, because that's the play area. Okay, from now on, I'll be referring to those types as the play area. And price could stay above there, and that's great. And if we close above on the daily chart, which we got 7 hours to go, then I expect we to do option A. But if we get the reversal, then we need to come back down and sit on top of that line, because then we're going to be carrying the weight and the weight of all of those people there. They are now going to become, in closing out, all the sellers will say, hey, we're done selling. Because there were sellers here saying, woo, we're making money selling and shorting this. But now if we cross that line, there's a line you can't cross. It's just like when you're talking to your elders or your mom and dad. There's a line you don't cross. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a line you don't cross with your wife. Okay? So if we get above there, oops, not that line. If we get above there, we need to bounce on top of it. And usually it's going to be a team up of some kind. So it might be this phantom. It might be that phantom. So it will look something like this. Bounce here, which means the lowest we might expect is around $1.07, possibly. If it's really strong, price can even play in this area a little bit. But at any case, we need, this slope is good enough to jump off of. If the slope was like this, nah, that's nothing. But because the slope is here, maybe we're gonna do that and come up here. Now, if we do this and do that, then I'm canceling my sell order here. So I'm letting you guys know in advance. And if this video is too fast for you, go ahead and watch it again. Learn it. I'll be making those announcements in my chart room, but I'm in my Patreon and in the chart room community room. You'll get an instant notification if you're on my membership page on Patreon. The link is in the description. You'll get an instant notification. I will let you know, hey, I canceled my sell order because I have the sell order here. But if we do this today, woohoo, then that is the time that I'll be looking to buy more. Or if you missed out, no, I shouldn't say more. For leverage, I'm not going to be buying more. You don't want to do that. But if you're just buying to buy and you haven't bought, that's a good deal. This is a good deal for XRP. That price right there. Okay, that's a good deal. And then, so be looking at that range. That's would be nice. Again, around the $1.33 range would be nice. But if we get there, I want it to curve, and then we can push through. And then we're going to say bye-bye to 127. Okay. That's going to be over. Neither will, and also I will cancel my sell order because we're going to ride. Let's ride, baby. We're going to be going up past this area, which I'm going to show you now. And that roof, $1.5665. That's that area. Okay, so pay attention over the next few days. And again, if you haven't signed up for my notification, you don't have to sign up for notifications. Just join me on my Patreon. You'll get an instant notification. Or if you don't have that, you don't want to, or you can't, just go to Telegram, because I keep XRP updates there too. You click on, you need to find my name, click on subscribe, okay, and then click on the pin tab, and as the, we'll be waiting for my pins, okay, and we'll go from there. Once we get past that range, then to be honest, the next major resistance is up here at 196, $1.9673. But to be honest, I'm not going to be worrying about that anytime after that. I'm just going to be in profits, because I really expect us that next week, sometime starting next week, the biggest boom, where we're going to go anywhere from $3 to $12. And I think there's going to be a major profit taking around $12. And then after that, we're going to see some big dips. And then after that, we're going to go back up to a very high number. So I got, so that's the end of today's video here, but I got some quick announcents. Guys, later today, I'm going to be doing a dreams collection video. And then also I want to be doing a heart-to-heart with some, I think I'm going to have another collaboration video, because I was contacted by Lady Queen's channel again. They want to have another collaboration where we're going to be talking about the things, more things about what to expect and how some of these dreams are going to be in context, because I really want to spend the dreams collection video talking about those dreams and sharing those dreams, rather than explaining a lot of my thoughts behind those dreams. I want to keep it more short, so we get more people tuning in for that. But I do want to have a time where I am sharing more of what I really expect, and some warnings, kind of like yesterday's video. If you didn't catch yesterday's video, I was talking about when leverage trading and some warnings that when we hit some of these highs, well, I want you to watch the dream video first, and then we can talk about it. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best. And then also, please, if you haven't seen our interview with Lady Queen on Lady Queen's channel, you need to see it. I answered a lot of people's questions in that video. A lot of private questions I've been getting, a lot of email questions, sometimes YouTube comments, and I have been talking about them in that video. And I really take a time. So go ahead and watch that. Watch her channel and see my interview there. She has great content. Oh my gosh, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Very encouraging, very uplifting, very spiritual, and an awesome testimony. So I look forward to being on her channel. There's a chance that we're going to be releasing that next video really soon. And we're setting up the interview. It could be tonight. It could be tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure. We haven't made that plan just yet. She's asking, when can you come on? When can you come on? So trying to get that started. But anyway, look for those things coming up, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna go eat some crispy bacon, and you guys make it a great day. Watch for those options. Watch for option A. Watch for option B, and have a great time, guys. See ya.